Hello, third grade, and welcome to our reading skill for this week. We will continue looking at text structures this week. So far, the text structures we have learned are chronological in sequence, which tells a story in order of events that occur. Please add 3 clue words that we use to determine if something is in chronological or sequence. We also learned about cause and effect, and it tells what happens and why it happened. Choose 3 clue words that we might see in that type of text structure. And we also learned about problem and solution. That's when we have a problem and it tells us how we can solve it. Choose 3 clue words that you might see in that type of text structure. Today we're going to be looking at comparing and contrasting. Now we looked at comparing and contrasting text with similar topics, and authors use this a lot to show, go ahead and type this along with me, similarities and differences between two or more things. Now some clue words we might see for a compare and contrast text structure. So you might see however. You might see similar. You might see both. Or words like or unlike. Or we might see something like difference or on the other hand. Go ahead and type those out. Pause the video if you need more time. Today, as we look at a compare and contrast text structure, I'd like you to follow along with me and we will highlight any clue words we see in this text. First, we will fill in the text structure. So grab your writing tool and this is compare and contrast. Like we said on the previous page, compare and contrast. The author would use a compare and contrast to show the similarities and differences between 2 or more things. Go ahead and type that out. Pause the video if you need more time. And we're going to go ahead and begin. Like I said, as we are going through, please highlight what I highlight. More than a name. Red pandas and giant pandas have a similar name. Grab your highlighter, highlight similar, that is a key word. But they are not related, but is also a keyword when we are comparing and contrasting. Giant pandas are members of the bear family and share a family with the 7 other bear species. On the other hand, another clue word, red pandas are the only living members of their family. The 8 other species in the red pandas family have been extinct for 3 million years. Red pandas are much smaller than giant pandas. This keyword than tells us that I'm comparing 2 things. Full-grown red pandas weigh between 7 to 14 pounds, while giant pandas weigh 25 times more than that. Adult females weigh between 150 through 120 pounds. And adult males weighing between 175 through 250 pounds. Giant pandas and red pandas are both native to the mountainous forests of China. Highlight both. All wild giant pandas live in China. However, only half of the red panda population lives there. Red pandas are also found in the Himalayan mountains of other East Asian countries, including Nepal and Tibet. Red pandas spend most of their time in treetops. Their long, bushy tails help them maintain balance as they move about the branches. Similarly, giant pandas also excel at climbing trees, but they spend most of their time on the ground. There is a lot more to discuss when it comes to the differences between these two animals. Don't let the name fool you. Red pandas have more in common with a raccoon than the great panda. Now we highlighted all of our clue words, but we can type some of the big ones in here. Similarity, differences, and we'll put however in there. Now, when you're trying to determine if a text has the structure of comparing and contrasting, you can ask yourself, does the text compare and contrast two or more things? Go ahead and type that out. In our following lessons, we will have to tell the difference between all of these 4 types. So we'll be looking more at these questions. Now, when we first looked at comparing and contrasting this year, we looked at a Venn diagram. And we're going to use that same graphic to help us look at comparing and contrasting again. Remember that the outward parts are the contrasting, how they are different. In the middle is their similarities. Now, since we have already gone through comparing and contrasting, I'm going to help remind you of the key words, and then you will have to use evidence, so that means parts of the text, to fill out the Venn diagram. And I'll show you and walk you through that. First, we're going to write the 2 topics. Remember, compare and contrast is about 2 or more things. The first one was about a red panda and a giant panda. Pause the video if you need time to type those out. So we're going to be saying how they are similar or different. Now, before I go into the next one, I'm going to write on the side words that mean that they are similar and words that mean they are different. So words that we can use to compare two things, remember that is how they are similar. We can use words like and, we can use words like similar, both. Let's go back on the text and see if we see any of these, because this is where you will look to see, to write down how they compare. So I see similar right here. I see both right here. So you'll look in that sentence when you are finding evidence to compare them. And I see similar down here. Now when we are contrasting, remember that's saying how they are different. We can use words like however, on the other hand. Now you don't have to write these out because I will leave them on here for you. So we have however, on the other hand, but. Let's go back and see if we see any of these in our text. I see but right here. On the other hand, however, I also see differences. I'm going to add that to my list too. And differences. Now, when you are filling out how they are different, remember to talk about the same topic. So for the red panda, what is their size? It's different than the giant panda, but we'll write the different sizes in the same line. So maybe I'll write that the red panda, and I could go back and find my evidence, is that size, and the giant panda is the other size. I would like to see 3 in each part, and we will be looking at these in our groups in our following weeks. At the bottom, you can write what the author's main purpose is here. Is it to inform, persuade, or entertain? Once you are finished putting 3 in each part, you are done with your reading skill for today.